Alright, so there's nothing much I can really go ahead and officially say. And this one is that I think it's gonna be fair, is that soon. So, well, yeah. So overall, I'm gonna be talking, and I will be going ahead, and I'm thinking about going ahead and getting going ahead and teaming up with. Well, I said overall. Well, okay. My point is, well, I am thinking of going ahead and pretty much realize I do plan to go ahead and team up on, and hopefully, and if it's possible, because I'm not sure how it's going to be looking like, but I am going ahead and I am going to go ahead and I'm actually going to start looking if we can go ahead and team up with my buddies at Zeta Sports. Like I said, I know them pretty good, so, because I've been in their Discord server for a while, so I think it's really fair enough that that the podcast should team up with them. They talk about Roblox football, and for me, I talk about Roblox football. Basically, I have a lot of respect for them, mainly because, well, they've done so much, and right now, we're trying to go, they usually work with pretty much a lot of things, as basically what the CEO and the CEO of Zeta Sports Okay, so before we go ahead and go into today's video, I want to go ahead and talk about Zeta Sports a little bit. They go ahead and they talk about Roblox football straight. And so basically they pretty much like their Roblox football. It's not even a joke. They are probably they're pretty much one of the top places to go ahead. They're basically pretty much kind of respected on that part. So now we basically have to describe that out of the way. I will be going, hopefully we go ahead and team up with them. But until then, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna be seeing pretty much. I'm gonna be talking about a few things. So first things first, I can go ahead and say this is basically big news coming from OFL, and this one turned out to be, and this one not only shocked it. This one was pretty much shocked the entire league. When I found out about this, it was basically some crazy news, and well, I decided to go ahead and, well, so I'm going to be going ahead and talking about that in the meantime, but either way, the thing I can really go ahead and say about is that basically OFL went ahead and pulled out the biggest surprise of pretty much Roblox sports history, and they went ahead and bought the Roblox National Basketball Association. It's basically overall, I don't know how that really works. So honestly, I don't know how they usually go ahead and talk about things. But for me, I am kind of going ahead and I am interested about what these people pretty much go ahead and they have in common. And overall, those guys there, they're known, like, basically, the point I'm trying to say is, you need to go ahead and breathe in on this. Is that the league is basically has started to go ahead and will be going ahead and what kind of is going to be full. Fact of the matter is, the big news about pretty much talking about is, well, with basically the national, the NRBA, or I'm just gonna call it Roblox NBA because it's a lot more easy to remember. This comes pretty much really crazy, and well, but yes, I think the OFL is onto something. And basically, their new add-ins is really gonna boost up their fan service. And for me, I personally think that this is going to skyrocket OFL. This is not only gonna go ahead and make the league look good, it's gonna make them look super good. Like, basically, the OFL chain is real. Like, although OFL and AFL have respect for each other, OFL just basically has taken a giant leap to becoming the most popular football league on Roblox. I mean, literally. If you ask me, it's fair to say you have to worry about what's gonna go ahead. What's going ahead and what's going to be going on. And well, yeah. So it's looking and it's all, so basically with that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and transition to basically a CFL, and this is basically, they end up having to go ahead and redoing the Maryland versus LSU game. When LSU first won the game, it was a complete upset, 27-24. But it turned out that they went ahead and they were caught for alting, and that they basically went ahead and got caught. So basically, the precautions that they went ahead and took was basically that Invictus and basically they were pretty much, they had to go ahead and screen share at the same time at various points in the game. High ranks had to be on LSU's team and a lot of things. And well, the pretty much rematch happened, and although J Ping went ahead and did play like his good self, Maryland still pulled out the W 34-22. So with that now out of the way, they're gonna be going and we're gonna be seeing a Natty, which is gonna face UCF taking on Maryland. And honestly, let's face it, I mean, if UCF can go ahead and pretty much kind of like study the film from the first matchup from pretty much what happened before, like the one that with pretty much the game that didn't count, like pretty much the upset scrim. I'm just gonna have to go ahead and say it. that should go ahead and should help them out, as they can go ahead and take a step to go ahead and to beat the team. You watch that game film, you practice it until you nail it down. Because as much as I like Tony's basically in the hot seat here. Because this is basically he's facing Finley, who's the head coach of the year and actually knows what he's doing. And this team will eat every chance of getting a tournament that they'll get. So you gotta go ahead and think about that. And well, that's basically cannot go ahead. You basically can't really go ahead and just basically see much about it. So overall, I really think that Maryland's gonna go ahead and win this one, mainly because, well, it's crazy to say it, but I personally think they can go ahead and get it done as long as, well, they can go ahead and communicate and all that stuff. Alright, and as we go on to pretty much some big AFL news, they went ahead and they started the playoffs. And at first, like, I went ahead and if you guys didn't go ahead and watch on my main channel, and I went ahead and revealed basically what was going on, like who got named first female pro, you should go ahead and shoot that link to where how I pretty much revealed it will be in the description, just to go ahead and talk about, so you guys can go ahead and see. But I can tell you that the Emperor Des should be coming back, but he won't be playing. Death ATL plans to retire, and the Lord Pred goes ahead, and he will not return to the league. So he's gone completely, and well, yeah. And so, well, yeah, like, with basically that big news out of the way, I'm not really going ahead, and I'm not going to say too much. So, well, yeah. But either way, opening round of the playoffs went ahead and started, and that saw the Panthers take on the Saints. And this one, we all expected the Saints to go ahead and lose to the Panthers by a blowout. It was going to be close, but the Panthers didn't get off on the wrong foot, and they barely beat the Saints in overtime, and the game turned deadly. But the best play of the game turning out to be this insane run by V. Tyler which basically went ahead and made Saints defensive end long warning look like a joke. Like, it wasn't even funny. So with that was pretty much the highlight of that game. And then the other game, pretty much saw, but there were a few other games that were played. Saints went ahead. So Saints got knocked out of the playoff there. Now here's the next one. This one's kind of surprising. It's basically pretty much Steelers taking on the Colts. Amon Manning inactive for the game, so Kyetra went ahead and took over. And although he did lead the Colts to 20 points, the Steelers, miserable Aussie, future possible top candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year, Henlo, and the Steelers pulled away with a nice 28-20 victory. Titans taking on the Bills. This one was a back and forth matchup. It wasn't even funny, but the game did go ahead and go out of hand, and in the end, Tennessee went ahead and beat Buffalo 44-34. And well, in the final one I could say recently was basically Dolphins, Ravens. That went head to head. In the end, Dolphins went ahead and pulled off a solid upset, 14-8. So as they move on to the divisional round. Now, one big part to go ahead and talk about there is that the league is going to has basically went ahead. Is a lot. So overall, the only remaining matchups that I can confirm as that will need to be played was basically the Cowboys taking the Giants, which should happen, and the Packers taking on the Lions. The Lions, at the time of this was originally going ahead and recording. They were basically taking them on right now. Basically taking on at that time, and they were down 12-6 at half against an overrated Lions team. Because I think the Lions are overrated. It's just, I think the Packers are clearly better. So they get some pressure. It's just basically lucky shot. Meanwhile, there's basically, there's not, like, overall, you can't really go ahead and just basically say much, but it can be confirmed that, well, certain things have to go ahead and get done. With that basically out of the way, I can go ahead and move on to AFG, and AFG is basically like the 11v11 sequel to pretty much to AFL. Like, basically, they go ahead and do, it's kind of like more of an encouraging it. Like, basically, it's pretty much going ahead and going on a few things. But I can go ahead and tell you, after the first 2 weeks, there are basically out of pretty much the first few spots, the one thing you went ahead and you learned about, I just learned coming out of this was basically 2 head coaching spots are open. In the standings right now, it's basically, I'm pretty sure like each team has a win, but there are people that are DMing you. So overall, those head coaching spots were opened. So well, basically kind of like, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say, well, yeah. Either way, we move on to basically going off to the IFA right now. The new season has just started, and well, I really think it's going pretty okay. Lake Creek, I think the biggest surprise was basically a high-scoring matchup between the Melbourne Huskies and the Lake Creek Lions. It was a back-and-forth game. In the end, though, I can go ahead and officially say that pretty much the Melbourne Huskies ended up came away with the win, as rookie QB Mohamed Sanu, not the AFL, not the San Francisco 49ers wide receiver. This dude's like basically a Mohamed Sanu fan. So if Mohamed Sanu, if you're watching this, there are people that are big fans of yours. Please appreciate it. But either way, he threw 10 touchdowns in his debut. which is something that Mohamed Sanu in real life would actually do, because if he actually is watching, I know that he's thrown passes. I know he's thrown some touchdowns. Like, he's thrown, like, I think 4. Actually, I know he has, like, a perfect pass rating in the league. So, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Does Mohamed Sanu in real life is that good? Like, how many touchdowns has he thrown? Or maybe I have to go and let him know about it. Either way, nothing much to do. Well, yeah. DFL, going to move on to my next one. And this basically, they announced pretty much the Pro Bowlers, and one that pretty much got held out thanks to that last second edition was probably for the Cloudburst Interactive. It was when Cloudburst Interactive went ahead and people voted. Pretty much got chance over Brownier over Brown Man. Brown Man went ahead and he went ahead and he agreed. So well, he is gonna be a little bit. He is voicing his frustration about it. He's hoping, but even though that he has some more better, he has stats. Like, overall, I think the big thing coming out of this one is, well, what can pretty much these teams, what can these going ahead and pretty much what these teams can do. I honestly do think that, well, if the cards are picked up right, that, well, this could pretty much be kind of a dominant force situation. But overall, the big thing I can just say, that situation going on, that should be pretty much be good to go. I'm looking at a few other things, and I think that, well, something happened, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say, there's nothing much you can go ahead and just officially kind of go ahead and pretty much confirm. Well, yeah. Either way, nothing else pretty much in the big news section. But, well, yeah. And news were just in, I just found out, is that the Lions went ahead and they beat the Packers 36-34. It was a back and forth game. Honestly, the game could have ended, but in the end, that just so happened to go ahead, and that pulled off the upset. And thus making overall, finding out about this is basically, it basically now pretty much ended off. But this next one, what the Lions win, will go ahead and will be boosted. And now they're gonna be boosted off. I think. I mean, if you look at it, now I can just go and officially confirm that the Panthers will. Wait, how did the playoff season? How does the playoff season look like in this one? I think it looks like alright. So looking at this one, the Lions will take on this. They'll pretty much take on the Panthers or the 49ers. But in order, if they have to take on the 49ers, they expect the Cowboys to lose to the Giants. But the Cowboys win. They play the 49ers, and the Lions play the Panthers. And I honestly think that the Panthers, they're good. They're pretty much a better team than the Lions. So people are thinking that this could be the playoff year. This could be that the Lions could pull a season 8 Chargers. I don't believe it, but maybe I'm sleeping on them. Overall, I don't think they can make it past the NFC Championship game. Because let's face it, Reese Tyler Orchugga, Reese and company, and Chugga and company, like both of those top 2 seeds, they're gonna go ahead and take the win anyway. So well, yeah. Either way, 2 of the wild cards are out. This is the Lions. The Lions are pretty much the last one, so they can either. This is basically a good chance. So well, yeah. And just finding out about this one, it's shocking, but hopefully it could turn out decent. But anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll see you on the next time. Episode out.